Super Bowls. I like his attitude. Where you at?
I love his attitude. This is just another example of how the vanilla bros in sports are winning, man.
Knowledge.
They winning. They knowledge. We smart. We know what we doing. Too. Exactly, because he's a vanilla brother too. And this is just super smart. Not only that, he has it's a different world. They got so many endorsements. They make money so many other ways. And I've always said this to people. I would love $150 million. Would also love $200 million. Cool. But if the $200 million was going to affect my longevity of what's going to happen to me and happen in my situation, and the 150 makes things more concrete and more solid, I'm okay without that other 50 million, because I'm not going out doing frivolous spending and stupid spending and buying things that depreciate the minute you purchase them. He strikes me as that kind of guy, and he's thinking that way. And like you said, at the end of the day, it's about them things that you put on your fingers, those rings, the numbers and all of that is cute. That's for fantasy guys like me. But those rings, that's where you stand at the end of the day.
No question. Here's the thing. Even in your example, if you were a frivolous spender, it's $150 million and keep your number one guy.
Or here's the thing. Let's go a little deeper. They're not even going to be able to keep their number one corner in Byron Jones.
Right. And I kind of resigned myself to losing him.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because you still need guys that could cover in this league. I played corner in high school, so I have an infatuation and a love for corner.
You were a big cornerback.
Yeah, well, man. I mean, this is grown man.
You look more like a defensive tackle,
Listen.
bro.
First of all, I take that as an insult. Number one.
No.
I'm just messing with you. Number two, this is grown man stuff, man. We talking 25 years ago when I played corner, all conference corner, by the way, in high school.
This is all everybody say that now.
This is all cheese grits and biscuits and fried chicken.
Rob G told me he was all conference, which I definitely don't believe.
Listen.
It's
I can
easy
pull
to
it
sit
up.
up here now.
I can pull. Hey, listen. Union High School, Clinton, North Carolina, 1994-95. My junior year, I was an all conference corner. I led the conference in my junior year. My senior year, my parents were military. My senior year, I was back in Virginia playing at a school called Potomac High School.
Okay.
So I didn't get a chance to go back there and continue my career at Union High School. But yes, and led the conference in interceptions that year. Okay. So yeah, those are all facts. But back to Dak Prescott. Listen, I listen to you and Rob a lot, and I listen to you guys go back and forth on Dak Prescott. I disagree with a lot that you both say about Dak Prescott, because I feel that Zeke is so important on that team. I know this is going to sound blasphemous, and I know people are going to rip me for it. Receivers do kind of come and go. They really do in the NFL. And if you have the best receiver in the league, doesn't mean you're going to win. Best receiver in the league last year was Michael Thomas. Somebody tell me how far the Saints go. DeAndre Hopkins. Somebody tell me how far the Texans went. You don't have to have that superstar number one receiver, in my opinion, when you have a great O-line and you have a great a running game, as they do. So I would take care of my quarterback first, and then maybe you got these guys coming out of college this year. You got a lot of underclassmen and receiver coming out next year. We don't know what's going to happen with the Bengals and A.J. Green next year. They're going to franchise him this year, but he'll be free next year. I think you pay Dak. Now, the 40, you're saying 33. From what I'm hearing, Dak's asking for, he wants 40.
I mean, there have been reports about that.
That he wants 40. So
if that means I'm going to lose Amari Cooper, I think Dak should take less. And I agree with your overall point in that if you don't, like, having a great receiver doesn't mean you're going to win the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
We've seen some of the greatest. Julio Jones is in Atlanta.
Randy Moss.
Michael Thomas, Randy Moss. We can go on and on down the line. DeAndre Hopkins.
Tim Brown.
But usually it's because the quarterback is so good that he can make more out of mediocre or average receivers.
Mm-hmm.
I like Dak. But Dak's not that type of guy. Dak is not the type of guy that doesn't need at least one great receiver. We saw the difference between Dak and the Cowboys before and after Amari Cooper.
True.
He needs him. Like, there's no question about it. This year, he wasn't throwing for close to 5,000 yards and 30-plus touchdowns without Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
So I think I agree with you in general. If he were Aaron Rodgers, I'd say, yeah, okay, we could survive without Amari. But he's not Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
I think that's the difference.
Well, let's take a step deeper. If you remember when I was on a show with you before, we talked about Zeke when he had first got that money. And I said my exact quote on this show was, ever since Zeke got that money, He'll never be the same Zeke again. He'll never run that hard again. He'll never have that passion, that drive, that thrust, because we know the running back shelf in the NFL is very low. And I understand it. I'm not knocking Zeke for that. But I think if we had that Zeke, that the maturity, the maturation process that Dak has gone through now, we had the first or the second year Zeke now, then I think you could lose Amari. You have Gallup, and you can get something in the draft this year. I don't think Dak needs the top receiver. I do think if you put 3 A- or with maybe a B+ guy and a B+ A- tight end,
they got 3 A- guys.
What? No, well, Gallup's an A- guy.
He drops a lot of balls.
He drops some passes, but he's also young, and that comes with maturation. That comes with time. I just think that if Zeke's running hard, it does mask
Zeke
over other.
Horrible,
I don't want to hear about the yards per carry. If
Why
that's where
not?
you're gonna go,
Why
because
not?
to me it's such almost a hidden worthless stat, because
how's it worthless?
Because the rookie year he went 4.4, and then the last season he was at 4.6. But it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same Zeke. It wasn't the same running. It wasn't the same force. And listen,
I will give you that. I don't think he was quite the same.
No,
but you're acting like he fell off.
No,
by 50%.
Not 50%, but when you fall off in the running game, even 15 to 20%, it affects the entire offense. And I do think that happened.
He was tied for third in the league in rushing.
That's fine, but guys don't have the yards they use. Like, okay, who led the league in rushing last year? Derrick Henry did, right? It was 1,700 yards somewhere in that area. Yeah. Okay, so but we do come from, Chris. You and we're older guys. We come from an era where there would be 8 or 9 guys over 1,500 yards, man. Like the era of that back that just goes out regardless of the money he's making and just goes and get it. We just don't live there. Like, trust me, once Derrick Henry get that contract, you'll never see them numbers again. When he gets read up, you'll never see 1,700 yards out of Derrick Henry. You run when you're running broke, or not broke, because none of these guys are broke, but they not 20 million.
I mean, because dudes got pride.
Money.
I want to go down. Yeah, once I get my money, but I want to go down as a great running back.
Do they all though, man? It takes a special.
I think they do.
It takes a special.
And like I said, Zeke wasn't bad. 1,357 yards, 4.5 yards a carry, 12 touchdowns. That's second most he's ever had.
Zeke needs to be 1,700 yard back a year.
He's never done that.
He's
never done that.
I think
his best year's rookie year, he went 1,600.
Oh well, I'll take 16. Then.
Last year was 14.
I need 1,650 and 11 plus touchdowns out of him every single year, and I need it in an aggressive.
You are perfect to fill in for Rob Parker because you're a feelings guy. See, I'm a fact guy. You're a feelings guy, just like Rob.
Because sometimes facts lie.
First of all, we're gonna throw it out to you guys. 877-99 on Fox. 877-996-6369. Should Patrick Mahomes be willing to take less money to keep the?
Yeah. Well, Wildcat year was 11-5.
Right.
Yeah.
I might
and we won
be
the division.
Actually.
Yeah, 11-5.
Right. You a Dolphins fan too?
Yeah, I've been a Dolphin fan all my life. I am a huge, major Dolphin fan. Absolutely. What up, Big Roy? How you doing there, brother?
I can do that.
Yeah. I'm on a blind 10, and since we talking about the Dolphins, a fellow comedian and myself, I bring you a quarterback question, man. We got the number 5 pick in the draft this year. Do you look at one of these college kids, or do you try to kick the tires on a free agent guy like a Teddy Bridgewater? Maybe call Carolina and see if they're done with Cam Newton. Maybe see if we can call Atlanta, see if we can move 2 of these first-round picks, one this year, one next year, for maybe a Matty Ice or something like that. Where would you go if you were the GM of the Dolphins at the quarterback position, Roy? Yeah. Roy, Veejay, Vernon, Huskey here again for you, man. Question for you. I know you're an HBCU guy. I'm a huge HBCU guy. I got HBCU blood all through my family, from the MEAC and all the other conferences and the SWAC and the conference. And I know you went to FAM, and I got a bunch of friends that also went to FAM. Deion Sanders recently said that he was going to put together a combine for the HBCU kids alone to come out and perform for the teams, for the NFL franchise and stuff like that. You being a HBCU graduate, do you ever think that it would come to a point that they could recruit one of the bigger known players in basketball or football to kind of change the tide from the other big schools having all the great black talent to maybe some of these HBCU schools getting some of this talent and changing the narrative a little bit?
.com. All right, my man. We appreciate the time. Dolphins All right, chicken wings on that.
Roy, I'm going 10. I'm going blind 10.
Oh my God.
I'm going blind 10.
I'm
we should have
going,
had 7 this year. We should have had 7 this year.
They actually, I am with you on Flores. Flores is a good coach.
A great coach.
No question. All right, thank you, Roy. We appreciate it. Yep. One team in the NBA is starting to remind me of a modern-day version of the Jordan Pippen Bulls. That's right, I said it. I'll explain next. I couple with Veejay, Huskey in for Rob Parker. Best in the league.
I'm not sure if they send a message because I thought the message was already there. That when they're healthy, they got Doc, you got the Claw, you got PG, you got Pat Bev, you got Montrez, and then you got Lou Will. Okay, then they bring in the Morris brother. And then you bring in Reggie Jackson after his buyout from the Pistons, which gives you some scoring power and a veteran that's been there before and can get things done and get his own shot when he wants to get his own shot. So I'm not sure if the message was sent. I just think that when games like that happen and then the Rockets go horribly from the 3-point line, 3 of 20 something, 3 of 30 something, the first 3 quarters of the game.
They missed 20 straight.
Yeah, 20 straight at one point.
That's the question. Yeah. Why did to them?
Yeah, but we've seen the Rockets do this before, though. We've seen the Rockets in the Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals.
One other time.
Yeah, one other time.
And that was a good defensive team, too.
True, but they've had times where they go through these dry spells. Harden has times where he goes through these dry spells. Westbrook isn't a great three-point shooter. Tucker is pretty much money from the corners. He's average everywhere else. So I just think games like this happen, and in the beginning of March, we could chalk it up to footsteps, but like I said, I don't think they were footsteps. I think we already see the Clippers, especially you do. You're picking them to win it all. We see the Clippers as the dominant, best team, and that's going to win it in the league. So a game like that last night, in my opinion, should have happened. They should have gone in there. If you're a title contender,
right,
and you're great because that's what
the
great.
Rockets are a title contender.
That's what great. Well, hold on, we're going to get to that because I remember. If you remember, I was here last July. I picked them to go to the Western Conference Finals on the show with you. Yeah. Well, on the show with you,
I thought that back.
No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna take. I'm not gonna take
it
back.
Hold on. Stop the presses. The Rockets are getting to the Western Conference Finals.
Well, hold on. Let me explain. Right now, right now, they're within shot.
This is called a backtrack.
No, this is not a backtrack. They're within shot of a 2 seed. They're within shot of still being a 2, but they can also be an A seed. They can fall that far. Okay, it could go either way. I don't
care if they're a -1 seed.
Yeah, but it's no
meaning all 7 games are in Houston. No such they're not beating the Lakers or the Clippers.
Now, well, we don't know that. You don't know that. You don't. I
mean, just like we don't know if we're gonna wake up in the morning. But I mean, practically speaking, we know.
Nah, I just don't. I think the small ball works for them. I don't know if it would work for a lot of other NBA teams.
Works for them.
I think it works for them. And I do. We've seen Brody come in here, man, on that Laker team you talking about and hang 40+ on them twice this year. Like, he's done it to them twice. He's coming here. Yes. Brody.
It ain't Westbrook. That he won't get his. And agree with you that the small ball is best for their roster right now.
Yeah.
And they are sexy. They're fun to watch. They're must-see TV. They're a hoot. They're probably the 4th best team in the NBA behind the 2 ones in LA and Milwaukee. If you want to argue Boston, we can argue that. But they're just Toronto? Not good enough. No.
Okay.
They're not good enough to win the championship. That's all there is to it.
I agree with you that I have them in the Western Conference Finals. I don't think they're winning the championship.
Which LA team are they beating?
I think they could beat the Lakers in the 7-game series.
Could?
Yeah. I think they could.
A puncher's chance?
No, not a
puncher's chance.
Not a puncher's chance. The Lakers don't have a deep bench. They don't shoot that well. You can have, you're going to get LeBron and you're going to get AD. After that, you have no idea what you are going to get out
Danny Green don't show up in the playoffs?
And he has for the Spurs and for the Raptors a little bit, but he hasn't done it yet. He hasn't done it yet.
Right?
And purple and gold.
Rondo? Ain't no playoff Rondo?
No, there's no playoff Rondo. That Rondo, that Rondo's been gone for about. That was just a couple
years ago in New Orleans.
Yeah, it was 2-3 years ago. But 2-3 years is a long time when you creeping into your mid-30s in the NBA. 2 years ago is a long time when you're in your mid-30s. Maybe AD, I'm gonna give you AD, but I think Dwight and JaVale at some point this magical type of defensive, showing that they had over runs this season. At some point, it's gotta get them in foul trouble. And if either one of those guys get in foul trouble in a playoff series, Now you're asking more out of AD. You're asking more out of LeBron on the defense. And we know LeBron likes to go stand down on the block on defense now. He'll get out on the perimeter, to be showy when they're up 10 points and front run like he likes to do. Guard a smaller guy, talk some trash.
Quick note, y'all think Rob Parker's a LeBron hater.
Oh, my, come on, man.
This brother.
Man, listen, proud.
He make Rob look
proud.
like he's Skip or Shannon Sharp
proud
on LeBron.
I'm proud. I'm a proud LeBron hater, and I'm very valid, though. He's a great player. He's one of the best I've ever seen with my own eyes. I just don't think he stands up to Mike and Kobe. That's just my opinion, though. That's all I'm saying. But, I just think that when it comes down to a playoff series, I don't like the Lakers bench, and I don't like a 7-game series against a team that likes to run and get up and down and shoot a lot of threes and attack the rim the way Russell Westbrook does. He will get those guys in foul trouble, and if he does, they can find themselves in a 2-2 matchup, where a pivotal Game 5 can be there, and we know Game 5s can go anyway in a playoff series.
So you picking Houston over the Lakers?
Yes, to the Western Conference Finals. My Western Conference Finals are the Clippers and the Rockets, and I'm going to stick with that.
All right, so we going to put some wings on that.
Yeah, Kookaburra.
Oh,
if I win, you got to come. Yeah, you got to come get the Kookaburra. Yeah, when I was on last Wednesday,
I ain't been to Outback in a decade.
Listen, man, Kookaburra wings.
Okay, all right. And when I went, I didn't think my next time to Outback would be for wings.
Yeah,
but I will do it for you. But it's not gonna matter because I'm gonna win that bet.
Okay, well,
no question. Look, Houston, they're nice. They're a nice little cute team.
Yeah. Well, one other thing too, the injury bug has hit a lot of the better teams. Watching Golden State and the Raptors last night, I had no idea the Raptors had that many players miss double-digit games. 20, 18, 14. I was like, wow, and they're still been able to keep it together. The Lakers have been able to avoid the big injury bug. They're only one groin, one slip, one ankle from that team looking like it, even if it's a bench. Exactly, and what I'm saying is they haven't had that yet. If something like that were to happen, we could really be looking at this Laker team saying, hey, this could get real dangerous as far as, myself, LeBron haters or whatever, will come after the Lakers or come after them. But if something like that were to happen to even one of those big guys you just mentioned, you let Dwight or you let JaVale pull something and they got to sit 8 or 9 games, they could be in a lot of trouble on the defensive end.
Well, if they lose LeBron or AD to an injury,
of course.
I mean that's.
I'm keeping them out of it though. Yeah, I'm keeping them out of it. I'm talking about. They can
afford to lose another. I mean, it wouldn't be great, but they still beat the Rockets.
Okay, well, hopefully they'll match up in the playoffs, and you and I got wings on it. If I win, I want Kookaburra.
All right. Go ahead,
I got a good one, man. Actually, I got 2. Can I have 2?
Yep.
Yeah, one's really quick, man. Brussels sprouts. I hated Brussels sprouts as a kid. Let me tell you something about being a grown man that's really watching his health now.
Brussels sprouts
oh my goodness!
Fried
yes,
Brussels
yes they
sprouts
do.
don't
Yes,
count.
they do.
Fried
with a little
covered Brussels.
No, they're not chocolate covered, but fried Brussels sprouts with a little. No, not
you
batter.
You eating French fries?
Nah, not batter. It's just a little crisp on the outside. You shave a little fresh Parmesan cheese on it. Oh my goodness!
That's a dessert,
man. Let me tell you something. Brussels. I like them also sautéed with a little bit of balsamic vinegar and a skillet. My grandmama's old skillet. So Brussels sprouts.
Next thing you know, you're gonna be telling me there's bacon on them.
No, I don't do that. All right, and my another one is Miss Cardi B. When Cardi B first came out, I thought she would just be another. She would just be just another former reality show woman with some body augmentations and a rapper and stuff. I can't tell you 2 of her songs, but her IG is super entertaining. If you ever watch her IG, there's something to me about people who just speak in life. They're not so self-image cautious that they gotta watch every little word and every little move. They just live life. So you
taking life advice from Cardi B?
No, I'm not taking well, listen, let me tell you something. I'll take financial advice from Cardi B because she's getting it right now. But yeah, Brussels sprouts and Cardi B.
I thought you was gonna say that. Yep. And he wouldn't be portly anymore.
Why do you call him? Now, what does that mean?
Portly.
What's portly?
It's a step beyond Husky.
Well, I'm Husky, so. Well, they were the heavy favorites last year too. Even though Toronto had Kawhi, the Bucks were the heavy favorites. They had home court advantage. They started the Eastern Conference Finals off 2-0 and then got swept quite expeditiously in 4 straight games. 2 things real quick. Jason Tatum, I don't know if you remember this, but the day of the draft, when he was drafted, you did my show for me on another network. And remember, you and I both said that we would have taken him over Lonzo Ball. We would have taken him probably 1 or 2 because Markelle Fultz is the other guard, the other pick in that draft. That point, and I think Boston is a team. I agree with you. They could come out of the East. Philly, though, I have no confidence in Philly even getting out of the second round. I said 2-3 years ago, I don't think Embiid and Simmons match. They're not going to play past 2021 together. The franchise is going to move one of those guys. You have to. They don't match. I don't care what the flash looks like. I look at the bottom line. You got to move one of those guys this offseason. Well, they wanted to fire him last year. They wanted to fire the Philly coach.
Why didn't they? They gave him an extension.
Yeah, well, because I don't think
they should have kept Monty Williams. It was everything was lining up perfectly for it.
Yeah, and I think they give him the extension so you don't make him a lame duck coach and give him 1 year like Houston's doing with D'Antoni. But Mark Jackson, let me ask you, because you're in the know a lot deeper than most basketball people on the planet. Does Mark really want to coach? Because he seems very comfortable making that money he making, just calling games.
Take any job. Okay, he wants to get back to coaching.
Okay, sure. All right.
He's been blackballed though.
Yeah, I know. Yep, the Golden State incidents. Yep.
All right,